I think it was the second set of rotations on the second hill where Midnight had the hold Frosty's inside of showers, and you just see they had that complete map spread.
That was beautiful.
It's where there was like 45 seconds left on the hill, and no one made it within 50 yards of the hill, it seemed. They were so far away. I saw that setup, and I was like, there's Midnight. They woke up. They're going to win this game. And then Whalers goes on a 4 spree or a 5 up top, dies, goes back, and does it again. That's incredibly impressive stuff. Because, again, this was a map Midnight had already beaten them on. They beat them on it quite handily. And now Elevate comes out, gets a win like that. That is very big for momentum.
And big credit to Royalty and Frosty, because they're the two players you're talking about on P2. Royalty pushed all the way up towards house. Frosty was controlling showers, and Elevate was coming so far away. But in reality, it doesn't matter. It looked like they were giving themselves a big enough lead. Wasn't the case. Elevate clutch up again. Massive credit to Whalers there at the very end. Even on the final rotation, just locking down top window or top hole as well as he did. A phenomenal job. 250, 242, an 8-point game to start things out here at CWL Miami. We now head over towards an Arsenal search and destroy. We'll have a gridlock control too. If the series is going to go any further, which I have a sneaky suspicion it very well might, frequency hardpoint and a frequency search game 5.
And funnily enough, for the gridlock, it was Midnight that was 2-0 on the map from cross-divisional, and then Elevate was 0-1. Well, now we go into the Arsenal S&D where it's Elevate that was 2-0 and Midnight was 0-1. So if you just want to look at the numbers, the expectation was for Midnight to win map number 1, for Elevate to bounce back to win number 2. But Elevate, they've gotten the hard part out of the way. Now they go to the game mode they're a little bit more comfortable in, or at least more comfortable in the cross-divisional play.
And now it's key. It's key that you hold the maps that you're comfortable at, or the ones that you're theoretically on paper supposed to win, right? So about that search and destroy and the difference in records. Yes, it's not a massive amount of data, but when you looked at this series, realistically, you and me both thought map 1, Midnight, map 2, Elevate. The rest is where things maybe get a little bit interesting. Elevate saying, forget that. We'll make our own storylines. They take map 1 now to Arsenal search. If they hold that and go 2 up in the series, we may very well just have our first upset. And I don't care what anyone says. If Elevate win the series, to me, that's an upset.
Yeah, you'd have to say that. Again, Midnight has already beaten them with like these exact same rosters, so absolutely it's going to be an upset. And it's kind of funny as well, just the way the game number 1 played out is we actually casted Midnight Elevate back at the cross-divisional. And for the S&D, I'm not sure if you remember, Midnight, after they just destroy them on the first hardpoint, go up 5-1 in the search. They built themselves a super nice lead, and then it was Whalers on gridlock that just started going off and took over, and they ended up forcing the round 11, which they did not win, but Whalers was that guy. He was that X factor, that effect, and what we saw on the map number 1 is like, you know, Elevate was hanging around, they were doing okay, but then as soon as Whalers kicked it up just another notch, the X factor just chimes in, it really just turns that game around.
It's actually a pretty realistic chance here, maybe a 3-0 for Elevate. If they hold game 2,
yes,
Midnight could honestly be in a lot of trouble. I think that's a team that many people expected to at least progress past round number 1. Maybe not too much further, because I think you said the winner of this plays the
winner of LG and Units,
which, I mean, pick your poison at that point, right? Both could go on a bit of a rampage. I think many people expect LG to be one of the 2 teams that progress through the playing bracket, but by no means is this going to be an easy day of Call of Duty for any of the teams involved. Any of those 8 teams in the bottom 4 from either division. You got a lot of cards to play today, and as we said, it's single a limb, so you lose once and, well, you're out. You don't even get to play tomorrow.
And then think about like what happens at Champs. Like if you get knocked out first round here, one, that could just be devastating to your confidence. You don't even make really much money. Like you got some in the Pro League, you get some from the salary, that's right. But then you got teams coming from like the open bracket side of things, like Mind Freak have already gone back to back. Then if they come out, make Champs here, maybe win again, there's a handful of open bracket teams that are going to be incredibly confident, incredibly driven, because like they haven't been getting beat down by the pro teams this year.
I think I heard the open bracket guys saying some of the talent working in the open bracket was you just have to get to winners round 4, losers round 6.
Yes,
you get a chance. Mind Freak's making that, right?
100%.
From what we've seen, they'll be A-okay, bar a ridiculous upset of a complete lack of composure. We should see them at Champs, and that's a team where you've watched them play recently, like
serious damage.
I think they could, I really think they could do, a lot of work against some of these teams who are kind of on the bottom echelon of the Pro League teams, and we'll have to wait and see. Especially to your point, you lose early here, your confidence is at an all-time low, and well, for Midnight's sake, you hope they're able to win a map here, keep it close, tie things up 1-1. We love a good game 5, Chance. We love a good game 5, and it'd be fitting to maybe start Miami off that fashion.
You know, I didn't tell you about this. I actually got stats on the entire year for our Game 5 record. I did not count the PLQ. We have a 44% Game 5 rate, which isn't as high as I thought. Okay. But then if you think about it, the only options are a 3-0, 3-1, or 3-2. You got a 33% on average. We bumped up all the way to 44% for the Game 5. So, yeah, Game 5. It's on the board. It's definitely on the board. Almost
it's basically
half the time.
one of 2 times we cast it goes through Game 5. That's pretty silly. What was everyone else's?
Okay, come on.
No? Too much work?
That's way too much.
Because I know from grand finals, the grand finals like this season, I was speaking to Maven about it.
It's like 3-0, 3-1, 3-1,
He gets super upset about it. They haven't had a single one. I was like, it's about time. You'll get a good one eventually. As the surge starts. Round number 1, Arsenal already. It's midnight with a 1-man advantage. Team kill came through there as well. Royalty just straying a little close to Parasite. But Whalers, that guy, into the 3v3.
Yeah, he's the one coming on the flank. So for Midnight, they actually have 2 players that are like fairly trapped right now. Of course, Elevate maybe feels the same pressure. You see Whalers has effectively cleared out the B site, and Ruiz wants to bring it back. However, they don't have the bomb.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's a pretty big issue. It's down on the site, not planted, of course. And the big issue for Elevate is Midnight know that. They've seen it, they've addressed it, and now they can play around it.
Do they know it, though?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got in control of the side. They got a player up in Vents, and actually, yeah, okay, the guy in Vents is just waiting for it to happen. So, Leaves got one angle, but obviously, Midnight know that he's here, and they just don't have time. There's 20 seconds left. Someone's got to go pick up the bomb. Lamagod, he actually wasn't in Vents. He was in Dark, and he finds the first kill, and that makes it so much easier for Midnight.
Nice shots from Whalers. Really want to use the nade here, but it is a 2v2. Doesn't matter. He had a 1v2 now, not enough time. Frosty with the double. Midnight win the round. Pretty well executed first round.
And some pretty interesting decision making as well. Sitting there calling out, yo, Whalers cleared out the site, things are looking good, and like, oh wait, they don't have the bomb. They gave up any bit of control they had, and they didn't take the bomb with them, so just trying to make an interesting play call, but Lamagod got the information. Midnight had the setup around it, and frankly, the first and second blood did help.
Sure does. Giving yourself a numerical advantage off the bat, definitely very, very helpful. Frosty's going to keep the sniper rifle out for Midnight's attack, and he's been a real big talking point in Search and Destroy throughout the year and his abilities with a sniper rifle. Obviously known as former Halo background, a player that can hit those shots when he needs to. He's been pretty reliant for first bloods on the majority of the teams he's been with sniper in hand, and well, there's another example of just that.
I will say we've been talking about Whalers as that takeover player, but in S&D, Lacefield has also been that guy for Elevate, a shining light for the team, but he's the first man to die. It doesn't make things easy, but you can see his teammates do respond in kind. Parasite and Royalty take a dip into the next round. Midnight, though, they do have that bomb control.
I love how Frosty's the guy, right? With the sniper, he's like sliding around over to a chase, like, guys, it's clear. Yep, don't worry, I'm pushed up, guys. You got to come to me. You got to give me a little bit of assistance. Anything at all. Finally, bomb goes down.
While Lamagod, though, he's waiting for players to come over top. He can only find one, but his job is temporarily done. Now you just have to hope Frosty can find a pick, and Zaptius wasn't even fully watching his back. The players somehow do not hear the door open, or they just thought it was themselves.
Oh, they should read this. They should. There's the stun. Now you definitely know. 1v2. Zaptius. He's just never going to win. Good trade for Fizi. Picks up the defuse, Elevate tied up 1 round apiece.
Yeah, Zaptius at the end there was just expecting someone to be on bomb. And I think, in my mind, once the stun landed, I was like, might be able to do this, throw a shoulder, get the first kill, dip out. But either way, a double challenge is a double challenge, and the bounce back round is there.
Nice quick glance. Once again at Zaptius. Pushes through. There's one. And of course, backs all the way up towards stairs, found another, and then instantly was traded out. Pretty unfortunate spot found himself in. Gave it his best effort, but unfortunately could not win the round. So tied up 1-1.
See who's able to get the first blood this time. Right now, Midnight has been 2 for 2. Admittedly, the second round obviously did not go their way.
I like this. Lacefield's going to try and counter snipe.
I would do it the entire time. Again, Lacefield, the shining light. Their hard point, they were 2-6, but their S&D 2-3. So they lost at least a little bit less.
I remember in this series, he really, really excelled. It was basically him versus Frosty. If I'm not mistaken, they both had a ridiculous amount of kills.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a handful of games where Lacefield just has phenomenal performances with a sniper. He has been that guy at times. Arsenal is a fantastic map for it. Granted, Frosty is 1-0 in that head-to-head battle, but definitely expect Lacefield at a certain point will start hitting shots and try to drive up his team just a little bit.
Better. You don't have many chances. As for Elevate, it's a rotation over towards mid-map. Royalty's ready, waiting. Now he has license to grenade. Connect much because he has to be careful. Tracking back, stays alive, still waiting for first blood to come through in this round. Time is ticking. 30 seconds on the clock. Elevate looks to try and make the play, and it's Royalty with the first blood. Frosty wanted to just try and challenge. He'll get his hands on a sword. Does find the second. He's traded out. Lacefield with 2. With 18 seconds, Elevate in a 2v3.
Yeah, Parasite making the play off the map, though, and you can see in the kill feed finds Whalers and leaves Lacefield all by his lonesome. And, well, there's a ton of different things he has to do right, and Midnight aren't going to let him get away with anything. A very clean round coming in for Midnight. It was Royalty just spot checking for information nonstop in lobby. Frosty came in for the bait, and even was a 2v3 Parasite, the play of the game.
That was the first, and then hops off the map, back in, holds the angle, and decides to push forward. Saw it in the kill feed. I don't think Whalers expected Parasite to be as close as he was, as quick as he was. So another good round out of Midnight. And take the advantage back in the search, 2-1.
And 3 for 3 on first bloods as well for the side of Midnight. So if they keep that boat rolling, they're going to find themselves continuing in good spots. But keep in mind, Elevate was a strong Arsenal team in the cross-divisional play. They were 2-0 and 0-1 for the side of Midnight. Of course, that is a man with a sniper getting hunted down. The nades are coming in, though, and Whalers at least takes one from the grave. But you can see Midnight's pressure is there, but now everybody coming up through a window. The pinch is actually set in. They are coming very fast. Now Zaptius feels like he's on defense. It's a 2v2, but Lamagod, the last man standing, he was watching flank the entire time, but no one expects a triple flank coming in through a window.
I'm curious to see how Lama wants to play this because, again, bomb down and not the best spot, right? It's right by the site. You Elevate, you know it. You can really just back all the way up. You don't have to worry about too many angles. And I mean, you can see from Llama's perspective, he's watching every single corner he can. 30 seconds left. I mean, it is a 1v2. You'd love to see him go for it. Honestly, this early in the game, you may as well.
And I mean, at this point, he should know it's going to be like the standard setup. Guys in the back, you just watch over the bomb site, and finally he's here.
They're playing sound. That's all they're going to do. Now they know he's on bump. He should check. There it is, and he knows he's dead. Don't mind that from Elevate. Safe. Safety first, Chen. Safety first.
And it's just, it's so passively played from Lamagod as well. Like, admittedly, very difficult spot. It's in a 1v2. The bomb's down. They know it's there, but at the same time, you just don't check anything until there's 17 seconds left, and you don't even really check the spots that are fairly standard for teams to play on defense, over on the back side of things, and you just hope you can get the bomb down. So Elevate will be happy to celebrate a little bit. They're just letting their concussion meter fill up just a little bit to try to have that off the rip for the next round. But a little bit of fun they're having.
And I think you're absolutely right. In those situations, when you're on attack at least, you got to get your hands on bomb as early as possible, and then you're forcing the other team to maybe misplay. When they know they have bomb down and they're playing an audio queue, and you have, what, 15 seconds by the time you retrieve the bomb? There's not that many plays you can make.
And he also, like, he kind of played it 50-50 because he was just running away expecting players to hunt him down, but he didn't really have the information.
Right.
Like, he picked up a kill, and by the time he, like, even shoulder peeks, like, a check, he's all the way in the back of the map, and then they're not there, and now you have to go and clear everything back out. But either way, only a round. It's tied 2-2. Does it make a difference? In the end, potentially not.
Depends if we go to a round 11.
It does depend. Keep in mind, you know, specialist progression, no one's anywhere near it yet. By the time round 11 waves around, you never know.
Lacefield and Frosty just having a little dance over towards A. And one thing that Lace won't realize is the amount of Elevate players, or sorry, Midnight players, that just flew through the site. However, his teammates say, hey, we got B for free. Lace does a good job of staying alive. Now, for Midnight, it's going to be a 5v5 retake over towards B, and Frosty may be the first to come and find that opening pay.
whiffs on the first shot. He doesn't have teammates that are in position yet to get near the bomb to force the players to elevate out. But as I say that, you see royalties nearby that forces players to come out and challenge. The stun helps with the first, and now Lamagod, he got spotted for formation. The one player that's there is Perfeezy. He's worried about getting pinched, and the pinch is coming in, but he does take one to the grave, and no one's hopped the bomb yet.
I mean, you know he's going to come through window, and you're going to hear it if you weren't sure already. Turn around. I can't believe it. Lace with the easiest 1v2 he's probably ever going to get.
Why, people can't hear doors anymore?
Are they silent?
I don't understand. It was like the first round, Zaptius came through a door, no one turns around. This year, like Lacefield comes through, Lamagod is right there.
La la la.
And maybe he heard, or maybe his teammate actually heard, so the call-out's just like a split second too late, but that is Lacefield. We talked about him clutching up the S&D with the sniper, this time with the pistol. But that's a round you have to imagine that just, like Midnight, they did all the hard work.
I mean, yeah. Frosty was left stunned going for a no-scope. First blood comes through. Instantly, 3 men fall on the side of Elevate. It's a round which definitely had Midnight's name written all over it. But either way, it's Elevate that take it. It's Perfeezy flying forward. He does find a first blood. Traded out. 4v4 action. There's a nice snipe from Lace. It's Frosty that falls. 4v3. One-man advantage. Lacefield should expect the pressure with the nade, but now there's 3 players all in front of him. No team shots coming through. Finally, Ruiz finds an angle. That gives him a double. Lace throws his life away, but at what cost? Ruiz able to push a little bit further forward. Parasite versus Ruiz, 1v1. A big round of Elevate's going to take it, which they will. A 2-round cushion here in game 2.
And that is so well played by Ruiz. You're going to see the best play. It's got to go to him because he finds 3. Lacefield baits out a little bit, puts some RK7 shots down into all these players, and Ruiz just playing the cleanup man. 2 effectively free kills for him, and then he knows. Last man's Parasite. Parasite runs the ICR. You get close. You get as close as possible. You don't have to play on a head glitch. You play for the L trigger spam. Going for the crack aim, and Ruiz expertly done in the end.
Honestly, really well played by Lacefield as well. To your point, landing some shots and stayed alive just long enough, because if he gets team shot, Ruiz is basically, 1v3 where the likelihood of him killing the first 2 maybe goes down just a tad, but it is Elevate up 4-2. Lacefield still looking for the sniper A. This time Midnight changed their strat up a little bit. They decided to stack mid-map, and there's the first blood from Frosty. Lacefield didn't even see him.
That's rough. That's the roughest thing as a sniper. You just get your head popped off, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess he was there. But first blood to Midnight. Keep in mind, it was like the second round. Frosty got the first blood form, but Elevate clutched up in the end. If that happens again, that's a bit of a dagger. So Midnight, they got to make sure they win it. But Easy able to get this bomb down, and it looks like he's going to get it down for free.
And these are the rounds where it gets a little scary if you're a Midnight fan, because look at the map. 2 players still over towards B. They're going to try and rotate through, and if Elevate's able to just kind of bleed a little bit of the time off the clock, this round does become just a tad more winnable. As Parasite slides forward, of course, no dead silence for him, so the player on the side of P1 may actually hear him. Of course, Diffuser killed by Whalers. It was a great nade, believe, with a double, and just like that, Chance, the point I was trying to make comes to fruition.
Well, now for 2v3, you got to play aggressive, but Believe is the more aggressive player here. Lamagod flying up. He's going to fall. It is a 5v4, and you got Zaptius, the man with the SOG. Is he the one throwing shoulders, trying to get the player off the pillar, trying to hump Believe down? No, it's Parasite with the ICR that slides up nice and loud, and then the nade comes in and take him down, which, granted, a nade's a nade. Zaptius probably wasn't going to get shot in the next 3 seconds, so it took a perfectly placed frag grenade to help out Elevate from Whalers. But at the same time, why not fly? You got the man advantage. You've already cleared out the back. Just go push them out aggressively, but they don't. They do not get the round, and now Elevate a comfortable 5-2 lead.
Comfortable, yes. You still need the composure to close it out. One more round needed. Frosty's been connecting with a couple of first bloods, but hasn't really had too big of an effect on his team. Elevate, man down a couple of rounds and still clutch up. As the round starts to develop, A site is open. Potential for a plant. I don't think Elevate know too much about that yet, as Whalers rotates all the way towards back steps. This should be a relatively free plant. The problem Armor on the other side of the map has fallen, and so has Parasite as he tried to escape. This a 3v5 for Midnight to stay alive in game 2.
And Royalty can only take one with them. Elevate looking good to go up 2-0. Frosty's going to have to hit some crazy shots, or Zappius is going to have to make the play, but he's dealing with a couple players. The first falls, but the trade is instant. Elevate with 5 rounds in a row to get the 6-2 lead, and you talk about a dagger. I give Em Ruiz the streaks if you want. Does it make a difference? No. They're nice to have, but a hard point. We were expecting Midnight to win. They don't. Elevate clutches up. Whalers goes massive. The S&D kind of expected Elevate to win, and they do that and then some.
Yeah, very, very emphatic fashion. Comfortable 6-2 win. Where again, even in the rounds where they got first blooded, they're still able to clutch up, keeping composure. And now all of a sudden, the story here for our first series is a little different than what I expected it to be. Elevate up 2-0 against Midnight, potential for an upset straight off the rip.
And the last time these two teams played, it was a 3-1 for Midnight. The only game that Elevate actually won, it was the Control.
Yeah.
On a different map, admittedly, it was Frequency. Elevate are probably freakish on Frequency. You have to imagine they have some very strong Frequency players on their team. They have been all year. So it's a different map, slightly different scenario, but still, Elevate in a fantastic spot right now.
Elevate currently 2-0 up in the series. That's everything from the first 2 maps. We'll be right back after this with Game 3.